Good evening. Welcome to Sunday Funday. It's time to have some fun. Hope everyone's doing well today. If you're on YouTube or Facebook, give me a quick hello in the chat. Let me know you're here. It's that time again. You may remember a few weeks ago we did a study that was themed around sea turtles. It kind of went along with our Vacation Bible School theme. Tonight we're looking at sharks. So this is, I guess, Shark Week, if you will, for Sunday Funday. And so, gonna have some fun tonight and look at some things we can learn from that. Hi, Christy. Good evening. So, I was getting a good connection there for a moment. Now I'm not getting quite as good a connection. So hopefully there's not too much of a lag tonight. Hi, Miss Judy. Good afternoon. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well this evening. All right, well, we're going to go and get started and jump right in. Looks like we have more people on YouTube tonight than we do Facebook, so that's kind of interesting, but we'll go ahead and get started, and hopefully our internet connection will hold up. It always makes me nervous when it starts flashing red and yellow, back to red. One was even an orange. I'm not really sure. I guess that's kind of between the yellow and red, but hopefully it's good enough to come through. Check something real quick. All right. Goodness. I wasn't coughing before this started. Alright, well, I said we're going to jump in. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Good evening, Carol. Good to see you as well. So, we got the chat up here. It's going to come into the screen as well. And so we're going to start off with some questions about sharks. See how much you know about sharks. And first question is, what is the fastest shark? Giving you some options there in case you weren't familiar with a lot of shark names, or just to narrow it down to 4. Hi, good evening, Will. But what is the fastest shark? Anybody know? This is where the lag may be coming into play, because I'll say something and you won't see it for a few seconds, and then I won't see your response for a few seconds. But all right, so Christy is guessing because of the question mark there, hammerhead. Carol is guessing, I'm guessing maybe bull shark. So nobody seems confident in their answer here. All right. I know as soon as I put the answer up, I'm going to cut somebody off here, so I was waiting just a moment longer. The correct answer is a mako shark. A mako shark is the fastest shark of all, and that's not a picture of a mako shark. I didn't have a picture of a mako shark. That's a lemon shark. Oh, Will had mako shark without the question mark. So the only one that gave a confident answer was correct, mako shark. But yeah, it's a picture of a lemon shark. But mako is the fastest. All right, next question. Other than sight, smell, taste, touch, and hearing, what can sharks also sense? So they have the same 5 senses that we have. Sight, smell, taste, touch, and hearing. Oh, but Judy had mako shark as well. All right, so that was coming in. Good job. So they have sight, smell, taste, touch, and hearing, but they also have another sense. What else can sharks sense? Test how many of you have been watching Shark Week on Discovery Channel whenever it comes on. I don't really know when it is. You always hear about it, but I don't know if it's the same time every year or if there's like 4 or 5 Shark Weeks. It seems like every time you turn around, there's another Shark Week. So. But what other sense do they have? Goodness. Alright, so we got fear. They can sense your fear. Vibrations. Alright. Excuse me. Hi. Christy was agreeing with Carol. They can sense fear. Actually, the other one is I guess close to those if you kind of mix them. Maybe not. It's electricity. They have small black spots near the nose, eyes, and mouth, and these spots are ampullae of Lorenzini, and they have special electroperceptor organs that allow them to sense electromagnetic fields. They can also sense temperature shifts in the ocean. So they have this ability to detect electromagnetic fields and temperature shifts. So I guess they have the ability to have their own little sonar there of sorts. Pretty advanced creatures, wouldn't you say? Excuse me. All right. Next question. Trying not to move too fast because I know I've got some lag here, but next question. How many bones does a shark have? I gave you 4 choices there. They have no bones, they have 12 bones, 37 bones, or 117 bones. Them bones, them shark bones. How many are there? Anybody an expert in shark skeletal science? I don't know what you call that. Carol's going with 117. Bonus points if everybody remembers how many bones there are in the human body. Will's going with 37. Christy's going with 0. Everybody seems confident too. I don't see a lot of question marks here, so. I'd like to call a friend. Who are you going to call? You have a shark expert for a friend? Human 206, is that right? I did not know. I just, I remember the kids studying it. I couldn't remember how many there were. Excuse me. Well, the correct answer is 0. So, Christy, you got that right. Sharks use their gills to filter water, oxygen from the water. And they're a special type of fish known as elasmobranchs, which translates into the fish is made of cartilage. That clear, gristly stuff that our nose and ears are made up of, the whole shark is made of that. Then other fish that fit into that category of elasmobranchs, if I'm saying that right, are rays, sawfish, and skates. Amish Judy had no bones as well, so I guess no bones as well. Christy, I called my friend Katie. All right. Katie must have known the human bones then. So the being made up of cartilage, their skeletons, if you want to call them that, are much lighter than having a bone skeleton. They also have large livers that have a lot of low-density oils that help keep them very buoyant. And so they don't have any bones. Now, maybe you're like me, or maybe I'm the only person, but I thought, wait a minute, shark have teeth. Doesn't that count as a bone? And apparently bones don't count as teeth. Teeth are made out of enamel, and not made of a living tissue, and they wear away over time, whereas bones are made of living tissue. So the tissue is constantly being broken down and replaced with new tissue. So teeth are not bones, which most of you probably already knew. Me, on the other hand, I saw the answer to that question. I'm like, no, wait, I've seen a shark's tooth before. They have bones in their mouths. So they have teeth, which are not the same thing as bones. I guess I would have considered teeth to be bones. Shows how unscientific I am. Alright. Next question. What is a baby shark called? Anybody know what you would call a baby shark? So Katie confirmed the answer. Oh, so she helped you out with the 0, and you knew the 206, huh? Oh, that's right. You did go to nursing school. Okay, so you knew how many bones there were in the human body. I'm impressed, though. That's quite a memory there, because it's been a little while since you were in nursing school. It's been a lot fewer years since the kids were studying. We were helping them study, and I still don't remember it from that. So I certainly wouldn't remember it from back in college. But what do you call a baby shark? Baby shark. Sorry, I can't say baby shark and not sing the song. All right. So Christy and Miss Judy both knew that. They're called pups. Baby sharks are called pups when they're born live. And when they're born that way as pups, they are ready to swim and eat immediately. So that's kind of neat, isn't it? That they can have baby sharks that just come out like kind of like a human baby does, where it's like boom, it's just ready to eat and ready to start moving around. But not all sharks lay pups. The sharks have a wide variety of the ways they reproduce, and there are oviparous, I'm not saying that word right, species, and there are viviparous species. So the oviparous species lay eggs, similar to the way some of the other fish would lay eggs. But for a shark, those eggs hatch outside of the mother's body. They have no parental care after they're laid. But then the others, the viviparous, if I'm saying that correctly, actually have little baby sharks that come out ready to swim and ready to eat, and they're called pups. So I thought that was kind of interesting, just amazing the way God created all these things. That's when you get. That's right. That's when you get out of the way, isn't it? and there are baby sharks around. All right, so we talked about the little baby shark, but what's the largest shark? Anybody know what is the largest shark? Now, I almost left this one as an open-ended question, but I decided to give you some multiple choice answers. Just to help out. I'm surprised no one said tadpole for a baby shark. That's what I would have thought initially, like a tadpole or some name similar to other swimming babies. All right, everybody's going with the great white for the largest shark. Yeah, that's why I gave options there, Christy, because I figured someone would say megalodon. The whale shark is the largest shark. So, yes, it's actually the largest fish. You may ask, well, what about the blue whale? That's large, much larger than a whale shark. But you have to remember that a whale is not a fish; it's a mammal, and so the whale shark, in addition to being the largest shark, is the largest fish. So the The whale shark can get up to 40 feet in length, and it can weigh as much as 40 tons. So that's a pretty big fish. You don't want to bring that in with a rod and reel. Megalodon, I thought that might come up. That's why I gave answers instead of just listing it. Megalodon, if you've watched Shark Week, which apparently Christy has, you might be going, wait, what about Megalodon? That they talk so much about nowadays. But Megalodon is no longer, so it's not it's not a species of shark right now. That's just some bones that they've identified and have put together as what they believe was a species of fish a long time ago. And Megalodon, it would be comparable to the whale shark. It would be bigger than the whale shark. It's about the same length, but they would be a little bit heavier and just slightly longer. So that's if you think about it, I mentioned the whale sharks could get up to about 40 tons. Probably more realistic, more normal is about 13 tons for a whale shark, in terms of just what you would find in the ocean. And to give you some comparison there, that's about the same as 2 African elephants. Those large elephants that you see, that would be like 2 of those put together in terms of weight. That's a pretty heavy shark swimming around in the ocean. But I keep mentioning over and over how amazing these creatures are. Anybody know what's special about the spots on a whale shark? The whale sharks are the ones that have those interesting little spots there, as you can see in that picture. Anybody know what's special about them? I didn't give options here. I left it open-ended so people could just kind of guess what they thought might be unique about these spots. While you're taking your guesses there, I'll mention we talked about the whale shark being the largest fish. The basking shark is the second largest fish, and it can grow up to about 32 feet in length and can weigh about 5 tons. So I've never seen a basking shark, but that would be pretty large and scary as well. All right, so everybody's kind of not sure about what's special about the spots. Miss Judy's guessing camouflage. I'm sure it does play some role in that, but I guess when you're that large, you probably don't have to hide from too much. Yeah, what's unique about the spots on a whale shark is that their spot pattern is unique like a fingerprint. So you won't find 2 whale sharks with the same spot pattern on them. So much in the same way that we have a very unique design on our hands, on our fingers, the whale sharks have a unique design across the top of their body like that. So very, I thought at least, was very interesting, very special. All right, hammerhead shark. We all know about the hammerhead. It's got that big wide head coming off the side. What does it use its unusually shaped head for? That's kind of hard to say. Use unusually shaped head. What is there's a purpose to having that long wide head for that particular shark? Anybody know why or what they do with that flat head, wide head? Me, I've always had a bit of a large head, and I'm not sure there's any real purpose for it, other than just to bump it on things and to be unable to wear a lot of normal hats. But all right, Christy's going with fight off predators or scoop up fish. So kind of like a spatula, kind of flip them over like sausage. Will's guessing sonar. It does, I was joking about the spatula thing, but it does have something to do with with dinner time. So I will mention that. Carol says to steer with. That would make sense though if you got the little thing on the front to kind of give you that extra uh, movement through the water. Christian says they like sausage too. So actually, it does have to do with dinner. It doesn't have to do with flipping them like pancakes or sausage. And yes, Miss Judy, it does have something to do with their ability to find prey, or at least to capture their prey. They use that wide, flat head to pin stingrays to the seafloor. Stingrays are their favorite food, according to scientists. I guess they've done a lot of surveys, and hammerheads really like to eat stingrays, and so they can come up to them with that flat head, just boom, pin them to the floor, and I guess devour them from there. So. Yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting as well. I always just thought it was an unusual shape and didn't have much purpose, but I guess if you're most sharks have that pointed head. If you're going to try to pin a stingray to the ground, it probably is easier to have a big flat surface and just kind of come down on it and whoom. And so dinner is served. Anyone want some stingray for dinner? Just visit your neighborly hammerhead shark. Speaking of dinner, I didn't make a slide about this, but anybody know what great white sharks prefer to eat? What their preferred meals are? I thought about making a slide for this, and then I didn't, and then I kind of wished I did when I started talking about eating the stingrays. So I'll ask it anyway. Great white sharks have a preferred meal. They can go up to a month without eating them. Well, it is interesting, Miss Judy. She mentioned they have binocular vision. So yeah, the eyes on the hammerhead shark are out on those edge things there. So that really gives them a unique perspective. Christy, people, great white sharks like to eat people. Actually, they don't, from what I was reading. Although I guess if they're hungry, you'll do. Or if they're confused. So everybody guessing people. Carol says seals, and you would be correct, Carol. Great white sharks prefer to eat seals or sea lions, but they can go up to a whole month without eating any of those. But you get a good sea lion or a seal, and that'll tide you over for a while, apparently. All right, so. All right. In which of the oceans can sharks be found? I should have put that last N in there. I changed the question up at the end. In which of the oceans can sharks be found in? And I listed the oceans: Arctic, Indian, Pacific, and Atlantic. I'll explain why I listed those later. It wasn't just to give you something to go off of, but when we refer to the oceans, the Arctic Ocean, the Indian Ocean, Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, which of those have sharks? I thought this was an interesting picture as well. Dolphins. Yeah, that was a good guess too, because I think there are some species of sharks that like to eat dolphins for sure. But I thought it was an interesting picture because you got those smaller fish there swimming right next to that shark, and I'm guessing this is one of those situations that you always heard. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. I think that's what these silver striped fish here are doing. And like, I want to stay right here by my buddy the shark, because if I'm beside him, he can't eat me. he's got to swing around. I think I can stay with him on that. All right, everybody's guessing all of them, and you would be correct. They are found in all four of those oceans. I included the list there because, obviously, when you think about the oceans, there really is only one ocean. It just kind of covers the entire globe, and they're connected. But we kind of used to would divide them into four oceans: the Arctic, Indian, Pacific, and Atlantic, all of which include sharks. But I guess more recently, they've started including the Southern Ocean as a fifth ocean, that being the part of the ocean right there around Antarctica, and there are no sharks found in that area. There are no sharks in Antarctica. It's too cold for them there. There is a shark that can live up in Greenland, which is also very cold, and it can handle some colder temperatures, but they're not found in the Antarctic region, which some people, I guess today, would call the Southern Ocean, which is the fifth ocean. So that's why I included it. Because if you'd asked me how many oceans there were, I would have said 4. But apparently now there's 6. You know, there's where you remove planets, we add oceans. We just kind of just change science up a bit as we need to, or as we discover new things, I guess. All right, next question. What is a spiracle used for in a shark? What would a spiracle be used for? Anybody want to take a guess? Maybe you know what a spiracle is and want to guess why a shark would have one, or have to guess what a spiracle is and why a shark would have one. And by the way, while we're waiting for that, because I'm sure some people will guess and some won't, if you have some random knowledge of sharks you want to share, feel free to go ahead and put that in the question in the comments now as well. I try to just pick out the things I thought were most interesting. Again, some of my sources here being the NOAA website, North, I don't know what that is, NOAA.gov. And then trying to think of the other one I used, but just some of the different ones. So a spiracle used to spear fish, maybe. Okay, that would make sense. Miss Judy, take in water and ventilate the gills. All right, that is correct. A spiracle allows only some species of shark have this. It allows them to pull water into their respiratory system while they're at rest. So there are a few sharks that have that. Nurse sharks are one of those. Angel sharks, those are both like bottom-dwelling sharks. So a lot of times they'll just lay on the bottom of the ocean floor, and they have this spiracle there that lets them pull water in and channel it across their gills. The reason that's important is because not all sharks can do that. In fact, most sharks can't. Most sharks, because of the way their gills work, they have to continually be moving. So when a shark is swimming, and if you ever watched a shark in like a aquarium or things like that, you'll just notice they're like constantly just moving back and forth. You thought it was because they had seen Jaws and they were wanting to intimidate you a little bit. It's not. It's because they need water to be flowing through their gills to be able to get that oxygen. If they stop moving, and they don't have that spiracle, they're not one of those ones that have a spiracle, they would stop breathing, and so they would die. So sharks are constantly moving because of that. You know, they're one of the most exciting creatures. That's why I think they have their own week dedicated to it on like Discovery Channel and some of those sciencey type channels, just because they're so interesting and intriguing. You know, they're dangerous. And so you know we like to explore creatures like that. God made so many different creatures, and the sharks, you know, they're one of those that are just really unique and fun to watch. You know, they were created to do one thing: hunt and kill, and they do that really well. Their entire body is made to be able to accomplish that. The way they can move, the fact that they don't even have any bones, the way their different fins work together to give them the ability to turn and to move. We mentioned the hammerhead shark with that flat face that can just pin down the stingray when it wants to eat it. Just all those different things that are unique about it and interesting and creative. You know, that makes them special, and God made them that way. But as I mentioned, you know, in addition to starring in movies such as Jaws and Sharknado and some of those others, you know, the interesting thing about them is they keep swimming. They're always moving. They're not just always looking for a meal, although I guess they will eat any given time. But if they stop swimming, then they die. And so that's the interesting thing about sharks. You know, that's where I want to kind of transition into our Bible verse or Bible lesson for today, is that idea that sharks are always moving, and they need to. They have to stay moving. If they stop, if they slow down too much, they won't get the oxygen they need to continue living. You know, as humans, we're not like that. That may seem obvious, but you know, so many times we live our lives just like the shark, don't we? It's like we get up in the morning, and from the time we get up to the time we lay down, we're just rush, 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 go, 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 go. You'd almost think that we have to keep moving to keep breathing. But it's not true for us. We're not sharks. We actually have the opposite. We need some time to stop, to slow down, to pause, to catch our breath, to rest. And so many times, the only time we do that is when we're falling into bed at night and getting up the next day to hurry through another busy day. That's not how God made us. God made us to work, and He wants us to be workers, but He also made us to have a time of rest. And especially spiritually, to have a time of rest, to sit at His feet, to spend time with Jesus, to spend time in His Word. And that's what I want us to look at tonight. When Jesus was visiting some of His best friends, here in Luke chapter 10, verse 38, it says, "Now when it came to pass as they went, He entered into a certain village, and a certain woman named Martha received Him into her house. And she had a sister called Mary, which also sat at Jesus' feet and heard His word." Now you'll remember Mary and Martha and Lazarus, the sisters and their brother, were very close to Jesus. You remember the story of when Lazarus died and how Jesus came after Lazarus already died, and they were all upset. And Jesus even wept at the information about Lazarus dying. They were dear friends of His. And here we see Martha there and Mary, who's sitting at Jesus' feet, listening to what He has to say. It says, "But Martha was cumbered about with much serving, and came to Him and said, Lord, dost Thou not care that my sister has left me to serve alone? Bid her therefore that she help me." And Jesus answered and said unto her, "Martha, Martha, thou art careful and troubled about many things. But one thing is needful, and Mary has chosen that good part, which shall not be taken away from her. Now it came to pass as they went..." Oh, I already slipped back around. "And which shall not be taken away from her." I was already back at the beginning of that. You know, here's Mary and Martha. They're both there. They both love Jesus. They both want to hear what He has to say. They both want to, they believe He is the Messiah. They believe He is who He claimed to be. But they're both also interacting with Him differently. Martha is worried about, do we have enough food to serve Jesus and all the other people that are going to be gathering because He's here? Do we have enough, is the house ready for this? And all the different things that took place in getting ready for that. And she's busy with all of that. On the other hand, Mary, she's just sitting there, right at Jesus' feet, listening, soaking in every word He has to say. And Martha comes to Him and says, "Lord, won't you tell her to help me? I need her help." And she's just sitting here listening to You. It was a fair request. It was obviously she would need someone to help out, someone to lend an extra hand. But Jesus gives her an interesting answer there, though. Notice what He says: "Martha, Martha, thou art careful and troubled about many things." Does that describe our lives today? When we get up and we hurry through the day, we hurry through the week, we get to the end of a week, and it's kind of like, oh, wow, the week's over, and then boom, the weekend ends, and we're starting to work again. And it's just kind of, over and over and over again. We have so many worries and so many concerns, and we are troubled about many things. That seems fitting. But notice what Jesus says: "But one thing is needful." One thing is really needed right here. It's finding time to spend with Christ. Finding time to listen to Him. It's not easy making time for God, and I'm sure everybody has busy, full days. We get up, we dress, we eat breakfast, we race through the day, and we end up looking like sharks, moving from one place to the next, swimming like our lives depended on it. But our lives don't. In fact, our lives are the opposite. One thing is needful. That's what Mary had chosen. The time to stop, to pause, to spend time with Father. Spend time listening to Jesus. Truth be told, our lives depend on us learning to pause, learning to take time out, learning to spend time with God. The more time we make for God, the better our spiritual health will be. The better our spiritual health will be, the better our mental and physical health will be. So how do we spend time with God? Just different people, utilize different things. Some people like to just, pull their Bible out and begin studying it. Some people like to have a devotional to kind of help guide them through it. Some people, journal. They pull out a journal. They'll read what the Bible has to say and then write down their thoughts about it. There's so many different ways we can do that. But find something that works for you. We also need to spend some of that time in prayer. I heard an interesting story that one time someone came to Charles Haddon Spurgeon, who was a great preacher, and they came to him and said, "What's more important, reading your Bible or praying?" And it's reported that Spurgeon just answered their request with another question. He says, "Well, what's more important, breathing in or breathing out?" You know, that's so true about Bible reading and prayer, about listening to God, letting Him speak to us through His Word and what He's given us, but also spending that time in prayer, talking to Him and listening to the Holy Spirit in that way. We need both of those, just like breathing in and breathing out. We can't do without one or the other. Like the shark has to keep moving to get his breath, we need to stop and slow down and sit at Jesus' feet and let Him speak to our hearts. You know, that's the important thing I want us to get from this. You know, we're not sharks. We aren't made to be on the move all the time. God wants us to slow down, to spend some time at His feet every day, to set a time, you know, whatever works for you. I don't like to try to make it too ritualistic sometimes. If we say, well, get up every morning and do this or whatever, because different people have different schedules and different times. Find what works for you. Don't make it a legalistic thing where you go, well, I got to check this off my list today. Okay, I did my Bible reading. Because even then it can turn into just another thing we hurry through, another thing we do. Make sure we set some time aside that works for you and say, okay, I'm going to give, God, I want to spend this time with you. I'm going to read some of your word. I'm going to spend some time in prayer, and I'm going to let you speak to me. Miss Judy said, it makes you wonder because the week goes by so fast. Just stop and give thanks for what He has given. So true, Miss Judy. The week we can blink sometimes, and the week is gone. And then I blink again, and the next week has started. So set a time every day. Give that time to God. You know, it may be difficult at first if it's not a habit you're familiar with, but it won't take long till that time becomes a really important and even the best part of your day. Because there is one thing needful. Mary had chosen that one thing. Let's make that same choice. Hope you enjoyed tonight. Hope you like these animal-themed things. We had so much fun with Vacation Bible School, and this was actually the text that our children's church used this morning, so I thought it'd be kind of fun for us to do it tonight. So let me know if you like them or if you don't like them. But, you know, it's an interesting thing to see what God has created and what He has made. But then to stop and to say, okay, well, what does that mean to me? How did God create me, and what was I made for? I wasn't made to swim all day, to hunt prey and eat it. I was made to work and to serve Him, but I was also made to stop and spend time getting to know Him, getting to know His Word, and praying with Him. So that's my challenge to you this week. Find some time to be like Mary, to stop, to sit at Jesus' feet, to let Him teach you, to let Him speak to you. And don't be that shark this week. Even if it is a cute little song, you know, the do that I've been singing all night. It's that's not how you want to spend your week. So let's be a Mary this week, not a great white shark or a what was the fastest one, a mako shark. Let's be us. Let's be what God wants us to be, and let's do the one thing that's needful. Hope you all have a wonderful week. And if I can do anything for you, don't hesitate to ask. And reach out to me via text message, phone call, instant message, whatever works best for you. And we will talk again next week. Love you all. Goodbye. Miss Judy's, I can thank Mr. Google from Miss Judy likes to phone a friend too. Mr. Google is her phone a friend. All right, everybody have a good week.